Hi everybody, making this video here to explain how to solve question number 612903 on atplquestions.com. The subject for this is GNAV. The main reason I'm making this video is because I've seen quite a lot of comments of people saying EASA needs to tell us that this aircraft is running parallel to the track and therefore we can find out what the angle is to give us the answer. But I'll be honest, this is more of a case of you needing to read the question carefully and understanding the topic, because I think that's really is what it all boils down to. So hopefully when I go through this, I hope that you'll be able to understand how we solve this and why you don't need EASA to explain or need EASA to give you more information to help you answer this question. So we're being told here that we're flying from the M20 junction to the Detling VOR. There were some clouds, so he's had to turn left, or this pilot's had to turn left, and they're approximately 2.5 nautical miles to the left of the route after travelling 15 nautical miles. So by using the 1 in 60 rule, the magnetic heading to fly to arrive at the Detling VOR is what? So basically they're asking us for what this heading will be here. So I'm going to open up the table on my screen, and what I'll do is I'll try and help this a bit. So I'm going to put this arrow here, and this arrow is going to tell you what the magnetic heading is. So 283 degrees magnetic, that's the heading, the magnetic heading specifically that the aircraft was originally going to fly. Then some clouds got in the way and the pilot was like, got to turn left. So therefore, let's figure out first what this new angle magnetic heading was when the pilot had to avoid the clouds. So to solve that, let's apply the 1 in 60 rule. So 2.5 times that by 60, divide that by 15, is 10 degrees. Great, so 10 degrees. So the aircraft has, the pilot has to turn left by 10 degrees. So therefore, this magnetic heading down here would be 283 minus 10, give you 273 degrees magnetic. So hopefully we'll now try and figure out what the final part of this question is. So we want to find out what this heading would be when we get there. So let's figure out what the angle for this part is. Let's do the same thing again using the 1 in 60 rule. 2.5 times 60, divide that all by, well, what's the remaining part of this? So total distance, I'm just looking at my table again, 27 nautical miles, so 27 minus 15, so that gives you 12 nautical miles for this remaining part of the distance here. So let me just go back, 2.5 times 60, divide that by 12. 12.5 degrees. 12.5 degrees. Great. So the case is now, what is going to be our angle here? Well, the pilot was flying a heading of 273 magnetic. Why do we do this? 273 degrees minus 10. 273 minus 10 is 283. So great, if he only turned right by 10 degrees, then he's going to fly parallel of the track. So he was going to fly a heading of 283, but that's not what we want. We need to try and find out what the angle is to get to the Detling VOR. So therefore, we need to do 273 plus the 10 degrees, which will give us if we were to fly parallel to the track, but then we'll also need to add 12.5 degrees. So 273 plus 10 plus 12.5 gives you an answer of 295.5 degrees. And this is all magnetic. So therefore, this is your final answer here. And looking at the options available, 296 is the closest one, and 296 is the correct answer. And I think, again, just looking back at this, I hope this clears things up to understand where you may have gone wrong in doing this question. Again, you don't need EASA to tell you that the aircraft is assumed to be running parallel to the track and that you only need the closing angle. I think this is just more of a case of, it may be a case of you may have done a similar question like this before, and it was probably a question about drift, because that's probably the question where people were assuming that, oh, okay, we just add the two angles and add it to this and give us the final answer. But again, it helps you if you sketch things out, see what the route is, and then you can try and figure out, hopefully, to say, okay, well, we're heading this way, 273, so what's the final angle here to get to Detling VOR? It'd be that angle. Again, read the question carefully and sketch it out, and as well try and have a foundational understanding of what the question is and what it's trying to ask you. Because I think what's happened again is people are trying to apply one logic for one scenario they've encountered, but then they've encountered a slightly different scenario, which is this question, for example, and then they applied the same logic that they used in the previous question. I think that's what's happened here, where people are now complaining about TUI saying, "Ah, this is a shame." You know, as much we all love to have a moan at EASA, but you know, this is more of a case of needing to understand the question and sketching it out and figuring out what's being asked of you. So hopefully, this has helped you to figure out the final answer of this. Um, if not, let me know. I'll try my best to explain it further if I can. And if there's anything I've done wrong in solving this question, if I've somehow done the case of done the wrong steps but end up getting the right answer, then please do let me know. Or if you've got other tips to share, then please leave a comment below, and I'd be good to see what other people's thoughts are. But yeah, hopefully you found that helpful. Thanks for watching, and best of luck in your exams.